Y'all, we've been having such an amazing week.
Yep. It's been a lot of hit and miss with rain and just bobbing, weaving, doing whatever we can.
That's right. Sometimes it be like that, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Today, friends, we're gonna take y'all on a show and tell because we have been so busy, but there's been a lot of moving and shaking going on.
Mm-hmm.
And we thought today would be a great time for us to bring you guys along, show you guys what you haven't seen, and walk you through some of our upgrades and stuff. So let's get it.
Let's do it. Cappy's being very vocal today.
Meh, meh.
Hi, Cappy. Meh.
Meh. So friends, first up, you guys can see we got our electric fence all set up. And if you notice right here in the middle, Gary got it all set up with these little stakes that hold up the electric fence. So we're not having that noise anymore.
No, and that thing's live.
Yeah.
Yesterday was Wyatt's birthday.
Yep.
And of course, all the kids came down here.
Oh yeah.
And Abe didn't try to touch it, but he accidentally touched it and he got zapped. And he said, whoa.
Yeah, he ain't
that thing. I don't want to touch that thing again.
I bet not.
He ain't gonna be messing with it that much more now. There you go. There's some greens. Get you guys off my back.
We've gotten all of these greens right here pretty much ripped out and thrown in here, and they pick at it, they eat it up. They still got a lot of hay in there as well, and we give them some pellets, so no, they're not starving to death.
These goats are very well taken care of.
Yes, they are.
There you guys go. You got some of that. I mean, look at all of this stuff right here that we pulled out. That's a lot that we pulled.
You can actually see our tomatoes again.
Mm-hmm. And, you know, we just got a lot of weeds on the sides of these things. They're super easy to pull out. And I'm not going to come around and weed eat it to have them just grow back.
No.
You know, if you pull them up, they ain't going to grow back.
I come through with the little shears and I cut them and then I throw them over there only because I don't have as strong of a back as Gary does, even though Gary's back has been injured.
It's not the best, but hey.
It's stronger than mine.
I can push through it.
Yeah, it's okay. So many times over in our last video, it was brought up to us over and over and over again. Why are you putting 2 doors there when you really only need 1? I know we explained it in the last video, but Gary, do you care to explain again one more time?
All right, so for the people out there that like to skip, hopefully we caught you guys in the middle of a skip and we're explaining it to you guys so you guys know what's going on. Biggest thing is, if we have 1, then I guess we're only gonna have 1 gender of animal. You see what I'm saying there? Mm-hmm. All right, if you have 2, you can separate the genders a lot easier. No, not everything is done in the goat area exactly the way it's gonna be. Our goats are still really young. The male goat isn't ours, that's Country Road Cures. And we're just keeping them over here until they are ready for them. And we want our goat to have a friend, all right? But here real soon, I've already given my wife the go-ahead to get whatever goats or animals she wants to put in here. And I know it's gonna get filled really quick. All right. if you know anything about my wife on that aspect, he'll get filled real quick.
Mel's Petting Zoo coming soon.
So it's better explained on the inside exactly what our plan is, because it involves the inside more so than it involves the outside, but it will involve the outside. So come on over here real quick. We are inside the barn. All right. Now the good thing is that we have 2 openings. Now, the reason why it's a good thing is I can put a fence to this pole, to that pole, and this could be the male goat paddock area. And we can fence off in there, not really having to do electric fence. I mean, we could hook up 2 electric fences, you know, and make 1 bigger area for the female, 1 for the male. We've got a lot of spots in the back area where we can rope it around and everything else. So that leaves us a lot of options. If we do put a fence here or even bring it in halfway, give it half and half, you know, whatever it needs to be. But if we need to separate the males from the females in any which way, shape, or form, because that's how babies are formed, I'm just saying, all right? If I ain't ready for babies and I don't want things to happen, that will be a good way to where I can separate, all right? And if one of them is one way sick or whatever else like that, we can work on that later, you know? But it's always good to make it to where you can have multiple options to be able to separate your animals if need be. You know what I mean? When we do want them to be together, I either just mess around with the fencing outside or I mess around with the fencing in here and make it to where they can go any which way they want to.
Yeah, no, it's a good plan.
So the other question is like, man, that's gonna be really airy for the winter. I ain't really too worried about the winter time for the goats. If you guys are hunters or if you guys know anything about outdoor animals, deer, they don't have no structures. They don't got nothing. They go and bed in the snow. They go bed in the natural element. And goats are a lot like that. Go and climb up on mountain ridges and everything else, and they bed down in some of the craziest weather that you can even think of. Trying to make it to where it's more airy is nicer in the sense of all of the ammonia, all the different, whatever it is in here is really being held in if I close it in really well. And you will know it when you walk in and you can't breathe as a human being. If you can't breathe in here, something's wrong, all right? You don't want your goats to be sitting here not being able to breathe. If the winter aspect, it's like, hey, I need to put in some sort of coverage. I have metal to where I can metal everything up and we can make a little bit of a doorway right there if need be. But most likely all I'll end up doing is covering these, making that be the airways as well as that.
Yep.
And that should be plenty because north is that way.
So I hope that clears that up for y'all.
I'm hoping, you know, I mean, I already know that we're gonna get asked that question again. It's
all right. We'll refer them back to this video. Anyhow, we've been up to quite a few more things too, friends. With the good old charge controller, Gary actually went ahead and got this thing set up with one of our older, really small power battery bank things. And he's actually got it hooked up to solar now.
Yes.
So let's go outside and check that out really quick. So we did have this really big, long green extension cord that was going from our house over here. And then it was plugged in through there somewhere, but it was really tight and it was causing like, you know, making a really tight walkway that we didn't really like. And it wasn't fitting very well.
No. So we ended up having that little tiny bit of that battery bank right there. And it's working great.
Yeah.
And having it on that solar panel right there, which is meant for like a game camera, solar panel, battery bank type thing, I think works great. Yeah, we bought that thing from Tractor Supply. And like Gary said, it's actually made for game cameras, but that's a little tiny mini solar panel with a DC. And we just hooked that thing up to the little box and it's charging her up. Charging her up. It's not the best or anything, especially when, you know, today there's clouds. Yeah. So we're gonna have to figure something out. I might end up buying some actual solar panels and mounting it on the actual shed and routing it to that. And then I'll end up using that for my game camera. But it's working for now. It's working for now. Yeah. It's keeping the little box charged up enough to run. They're pestering for some treats right now. Yeah, let's give them a little good stuff. You want some treats? Yeah. Oh, which we do have for our automatic waterers. I bought some hoses so we can hook everything up. We are gonna have to hook those things up eventually. There's a lot of moving parts, you guys. That's the way of a homestead, way of a farm, way of living off grid. Self-sufficiently. Self-sufficient lifestyle. Whatever you want to call it. Yeah. Living a simple life is not so simple. Yeah. And I just want to break up any kind of confusion. We are not just building a house, we're building a whole brand new lifestyle. So if you're only here for the house building videos, I'm gonna break y'all's heart because those are not gonna be all we post. It just can't be. We have too much life living that's going on. We are a vlog channel. We just record what's going on in our life and bring you guys along for it.
If you guys are only interested in the house building content, well then come back every so often and watch that. If you guys are here for the whole journey with us, we appreciate you guys. We love you guys. And we hope that you guys enjoy the variety.
You coughing over there? That was Cappy coughing.
You coughing?
You can't just inhale it, Cappy, okay? You gotta chew it.
So those are some of the goat updates.
Yeah.
Got new solar stuff hooked up for it. Got those extra legs in the fencing area.
Yeah.
And a little show and tell on why we got the holes and what our plans are for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
And that's gonna be great. Yeah. And we did not bring it up over here because this is our walkway.
Yep.
And if the goats really wanted to come out, in all reality, they have been trained now about this area to where we could open that up and they could free range roam, you know, down here.
A lot of people were mentioning, like, why did you even put your fence like this? You should have brought it up this way over towards the garden and let them eat all of that. But again, like Gary just said, this is our walkway and it would make it a real pain in the butt for us to have to come down here and do our daily chores and hanging out with them if the fence was in the way.
No. Every now and then I come down here and mess with the chickens and mess with the rabbits, and like I'm down here for a bit. I'll leave that open and they'll come around and everything. But they're grain trained as well as they're human trained in a sense, to where once I walk in there, they start to follow. They're like, hey, you got some treats?
Where's
what the heck?
Treat?
Yeah.
And you know, we do still plan to have the goats out on the leads, which we are still taking them out on the leads.
Yep.
It's just nice that they have an area where they could be without having to have us come and deal with that. Anyways, that's neither here nor there. Let's go in and check out our chickens.
Yes. The chickens are doing really, really well in here.
Yeah.
They're, I still can't believe how big the baby chickens have already gotten.
I know. And you know, last time we were in here, friends, we were setting them up with that kiddie pool back there with the diatomaceous earth because we had a couple of chickens that were peck booty, also mites. And I wanted to have you guys check out their regrowth because they are having quite a bit of regrowth. It's working out. That kiddie pool situation thing is working out really well. Good old redneck Rita still got a peck booty going on.
You can see that fluff. That's newly growth right there.
Yep, you can see some regrowth fluff.
So she's starting to get some good feathers coming back.
And then this one right here, she needs to take a bath because her booty is about pet clean. But they are doing it. It just takes time for it to grow back once it's been balded like that. But you could see this chicken that's walking right over to it, this whitish chicken. Look at all the regrowth on that chicken. She's definitely been taking her bath. The diatomaceous earth kiddie pool underneath the pecker palace definitely is helping out and doing the trick. And it's not getting all nasty with all the weather that we've had, you know. Having it underneath there is keeping it dry and it's giving them some place to go, especially when it's muddy out here. They want that dry, you know, dust bath. So look, we got some chickens in there right now. They're all, ooh, what's this? Chickens are very self-contained these days. The food canister lasts for a long time. The water barrel lasts for a long time. They bathe themselves in that stuff. And all they really do is just hang out down here and make us breakfast.
It's pretty nice. They have a pretty good little spot down here. I want to make some platforms where I can grow some grass in here for them.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
I think I have an idea, but we'll see if that works. We'll see. We have a lot of wire over here.
Well, last time we were recording, we were on baby watch for Mama Rabbit. And of course, she decided to have the babies during the storm.
Yep, that's exactly what I thought was gonna happen.
Yep.
And she did exactly that.
Yes, she did. So how old are the babies today, babe?
Today they are 6 days old.
Yeah, and we haven't even taken a count. We don't have no head count. We don't know how many there are.
Stayed away from the box, kept my nose open. I haven't smelt anything crazy, so we're gonna see exactly what's going on, how everything is, and yeah, they got another 6 days inside that nesting box area before they get pulled out of there.
Yep.
So they're about halfway in that nesting box.
They should have some fur and stuff.
They should. They should have some fur. They should be good. We're gonna see.
Let's find out.
Let's find out.
Well, good morning, Mama.
How are you today? Ooh, I do smell it. There's probably a few.
You smell some, oh, I smell it too. Did you kill your babies?
There might be 1 or 2 in there.
We haven't even touched this nesting box at all. We did see that she pulled fur, and then we've just let her be. We haven't touched her, we haven't touched the box. We've literally
let it be.
Just let it be.
It's been 6 days and I have not smelt anything until today.
Yeah.
So
I will turn this off and we will be right back.
well, Mama, I don't know. I don't think Mama's gonna be a good mama.
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately.
Out of the survivors, these are the lone survivors. And we had to get rid of a lot of her fur because there were the deceased ones in there. And it had, you know, it oozes and stuff. Like, it's nasty, guys. When they are deceased, it's nasty. It's not pleasant. So we had to completely take all of the stuff out, save whatever fur we could, but we put some new, you know, hay down in there and saved whatever fur we could. Hopefully she'll pull some more, but I'm not too worried about it because it's been really hot, and these guys, as you can see, are already furred out. So I don't know. We're just gonna let nature take its course.
Well, don't know what we're gonna do with you. I think you're gonna go to the pot. Because out of all of her babies, there was quite a few that did not make it.
And we didn't touch them. We didn't do nothing. We just let nature do its thing.
There's 3
that survived.
Yep. We'll let that continue on. See what happens. Yep, Mama. I don't know about you, Mama.
She might have to go the way of the farm.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I just want to be clear again, friends. This time it was not a planned breeding with Mama.
No.
She actually was in the cage right there where the 2 boys are. And what happened was there was a little tiny hole space right up here. And Shrek Buster scaled the fence and climbed into her pen. And we came down here one morning to do all of our animal chores, and the boy was in the female's pen.
Yep.
So needless to say, we knew that she was going to be expecting, but it was not a planned breeding. It wasn't what we were expecting at the time, but kind of happy that it happened because we needed to figure out if she was going to keep, you know, being a bad mom or not. And it just, yeah.
Does not seem like it's a good fit.
No.
So it's unfortunate, but that is unfortunately the way of the farm.
Yeah.
So it is what it is down here. Everything's going good as it's gonna get.
Yeah, we're gonna let her do her thing with these 3 babies. Hopefully she'll grow them up enough to where they're weaned, and then once they're weaned,
we can figure out from there.
Yeah. And we do have one other female, which we haven't bred yet, and we're hoping that she'll be a good breeder for us. And it's Miss Nora over here.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we got Nora from Anthony and Roxanne with Country Road Cure. She actually was one of their first babies that they had. And so far, so good, but we've never bred her yet. We're waiting to breed her until fall-ish.
Yep.
I'm thinking October time is when we'll actually breed her for the first time. And she is going to breed with a different bunny than Shrek Buster that usually breeds with Mama. We're actually going to breed her with Bruno.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see how that goes at that time. We're hoping that it works out good because this is a very big source of food supply for us. I know some of you guys don't like to hear it, but it is. It's a very big source of food supply for us. And with the prices for meat and just the way that everything is going, we need this to keep going for our family.
Yep.
So take it day by day and keep figuring it out.
Yeah, but we're gonna continue on this trek and show you guys everything else that's been going on.
Yeah. Well, we find ourselves down here in the garden area, and I thought I'd show you guys just a little bit of something of what we got going on down here. The summer has been absolutely brutal, but our automatic watering system is helping out with the plants as much as possible. We do have a few of the plants, like my blueberries and stuff, which are in buckets that we got to come down here and water. It's just been very, very hot this year. But anyhow, I thought I would show you guys a few things that I got going on down here. Thought it would be pretty exciting, because I know I'm very excited about it. Let's start over here with my carrots. Check out the butts on those guys. Pretty full looking. I think it's almost time for me to start picking these out, but I'm gonna wait just a little bit longer and just let them grow just a little bit more. But I should have a pretty good amount of carrots this year. My eggplants are doing absolutely phenomenal. I've got several that are growing pretty big. And actually, this guy right here is almost picking size. Same with this one right here. They're getting pretty good looking. Eggplant parmesan in our near future. All of this that's growing in here is volunteer weeds. They need to go. I just haven't had the patience to come out and pull them all. And to be honest with you, this sprouted in like 4 days because I was just down here doing this. I've got all this space in my beds for my fall crops, and I am very much looking forward to growing some stuff this fall in here. I want to do all the stuff that we like to eat. So continue growing a lot of the similar crops, but maybe rotate it around a little bit. Over here, the peppers are starting to do better than they were before. I'm not having as big of an issue with the bugs as I was since doing another of the diatomaceous earth treatment, but the bugs are still an issue. I'm not out of the woods with it yet. They're still around.
Yeah.
But I am getting, you know, several peppers and stuff to grow on them, but look how tiny that thing is. It's like the size of my thumb. It's so cute. But they're doing better than they were the last time I brought you guys out here to check on it. These guys are still doing their thing. I'm honestly gonna just pull them up and get rid of them, so that way I could make some more room in my beds, because they've all already bolted. And it doesn't look like I'm gonna get anything off of it. It was just too hot. I think next year a shade cloth or something will be very beneficial. Over here we've got one of our orange peppers. Still doing all right. Still got some bug issue going on, but I'm just gonna let it be. My cucumbers are starting to grow pretty darn big for just throwing a rotting cucumber in there. Pretty happy with that, especially this guy right here and this guy right here. I guess I'm still gonna get some more cucumbers. Last time I did pull out all of the peas, so that bed is still open and available. And my onions, holy moly, friends, they have gotten huge. And I've been coming out here and cutting it too. They just keep growing and growing. Next to them, you can see I got all of my pepper plants, my jalapenos and peppers. And I've got quite a few that I gotta pick out of here, but again, they're so tiny. They are definitely not like what you would get in the grocery store. In the grocery store, they're like, you know, as big as your hand. These guys are just little thumb size, and they're great for like fajitas and stuff. Very tasty, very good for that. But they just are very tiny. I don't know why they're so small, but they are. And then all the jalapenos, some of them are turning red, which is fine. They still taste good, I still use them. But I sure do have a lot of jalapenos out here. These pepper plants do really well in the heat. So I'm gonna have some to pull for sure. My Gary's strawberries, I'm pretty sure the heat is just too much, that and the bugs. The strawberries that we do get are so small. Like, look at my fingernail and look at that strawberry. It is puny, absolutely puny. But maybe in a few years or something, it'll grow bigger. I don't know if the crop just needs to be established or what. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking I'm gonna move these guys, to be quite honest.
Yeah.
I think I might find a better spot for them somewhere. Say even like possibly this hill back here.
Yeah.
On a hillside. They say that strawberries are really good on like a hill.
The problem with that, unless we move our fencing, is all the wild rabbits and stuff that we have out here, the wildlife.
Exactly.
So that's the only problem with that.
Makes me wonder about it. I do think about it though.
Yeah.
Even I have some ideas. We'll see exactly what happens.
But
I
you
have
know,
some ideas.
The diatomaceous earth didn't really help these guys out with the bugs as much as it did like the peppers and stuff. You could still see it's got a lot of the holes and stuff in there. And honestly, I would say it's the heat. The heat.
Yeah, the heat's definitely not helping it. That's for sure.
Sage is still saging. This lettuce has got to go. It's completely bolted and will taste like nasty now, so that just needs to get ripped out.
Yep.
My ball cabbage started to ball out, and then obviously the heat, and it's just
starting to bolt now.
Starting to bolt and fry now, so that's gonna be ripped out. The kale I'm gonna leave alone because the kale will just continue to grow and get fatter and fatter throughout the winter months too. And we eat kale a lot, so we're just gonna leave that guy alone.
Dang, look at that moth. He's all, you don't see me.
Yeah.
I'm a dead leaf.
I'm a dead leaf. Leave me alone. But yeah, the tomatoes are tomatoing, friends. I've had several pulls out of here.
Get off my tomato plant.
And they are doing good. There are some, you know, that are like withered, but a lot of them are doing really well. I've had pounds and pounds and pounds of tomatoes this year. It's like the gift that keeps on giving. Tomatoes is probably my best plant to grow out here in Arkansas.
Yeah, they definitely grow without any effort.
Yeah. They volunteer and just give and give and give.
Just throw some tomatoes out. You'll see, if you live in Arkansas, just throw some tomatoes out.
Yeah.
You'll start having some popping up wherever you toss them.
But that's our garden update for now, friends. Some stuff is working, some stuff ain't working. I did hear you guys talking to us about using 7 Dust, and that's probably something we will be picking up. But since we do have, like, you know, the neem oil and the diatomaceous earth, we want to use up what we have before we go and buy some more stuff.
Yep.
But I do plan on picking some up and giving it a try, because you know what? Why not?
We do use that. I think it's 7 Dust or whatever it is, to spread out on the yard to make it to where it gets rid of all the ticks and chiggers and all that other stuff.
Yeah, but we don't have any at home right now.
No.
And we've never tried it on a garden yet, so. But we'll see. We will see. I hear you guys in the comments, and you guys are pretty smart, so we'll take your advice.
No.
I am looking forward to pulling out all of that stuff for the summer garden and planting our fall garden. Again, it just takes time.
It's always nonstop. I mean, if you just pan over to what's in front of us, that's something that I've got to do. And it's just another thing.
Look at all that growth behind Lift. You can't even see the fire pit.
This is a month's growth because I did it last month.
It's over our waist. It's like as tall as I am, probably, in a month.
I'm gonna have to go in there with the weed whacker. It's at that height now.
Yep.
Or I don't know if I'm gonna be able to just hit it with the mower.
But you guys can see Lift is still here, and Gary, we're actually taking on a walk right now to go down and check out your work. So you want to explain what we did before we get down there?
Yeah, our road was really jacked up. I don't know how else to put it. Up at the beginning of our road, and we needed to fix it and get it situated. And it was raining a lot, so I was like, when is it not going to rain? When is it not going to rain? Trying to figure out a good time for me to hit it, because the last thing I want to do is try to straighten out a road and then have it get washed out and rained out and everything the second I get it done. So I chose a day and I said, all right, this should be a good day from what the weather's saying. And that wasn't true because it rained right after. Screwed everything up. And I had to sit there and be like, all right, let me try to ping pong around and get it to where I can work on the road here and there in between all the storms, and then hopefully get a load of rock and then be able to finalize it. Well, I finally got all that done. So before I hit the road, I had to practice. This is the area in the power line area where we ended up grabbing some dirt so we can build up the road and do all that. And I've also used the dirt over here to maintain the road and keep it where it needs to be. And it wasn't really 100% level. And since it was my first time operating the box blade, I said, hey, this is a good spot for me to test it out and see how it works and how it's supposed to go. and what I can do for the road before I go and jack up the road. So I got that all nice and leveled out and good. I also planted some of my deer plot over there, which I'll plant more when it comes to that time. I just want to get something established there for now. But now we're back looking down the road. You guys see that? Now we've got a lot of rock. You guys remember the road looking like this? It's back to normal. It's back to the original part of how the road was. So this side right here was really well maintained, in the sense it's mainly that portion of the road right there that was really, really bad. So we do have some rock on this part right here. This will get embedded into the dirt a lot more, creating more traction. Once the rock gets beaten down more, we can go back over it with SPF 2, and that will lock in all of the dirt and all of the rocks and sort of create like a asphalt road in a sense, but out of rock. It's pretty cool on how it is, and that's how our road system is laid out and done. But this is very, very nice. I try to get it smooth out as best as I could with that box blade, which I'm not the best operator, but hey, I learned something.
Hey, I think you did a damn good job, especially for it being your first time using that machine.
And this
I think it turned out really good, babe.
Where it really was muddy, right down over here. So it's already getting compacted quite a bit. I might end up running this over again with the box blade and try to pull some of the loose gravel over into the other areas.
Yeah, because this is where our culvert is.
This is the culvert, and this is the this was the muddy spot right here.
Well, one of the main muddy spots.
One of them.
Yeah, this spot right here, like whenever it rains, if we get a really big rain, it'll wash up and over the road, and it's been washed out right there, and it's just like really slick, mucky dirt, mucky mud.
That nice red clay.
Yeah. And then down over here, this very front entrance by our mailbox is actually the spot that got like the worst. Because when you're turning in from our driveway to right there.
And right there.
Yeah, it would get super duper deep, probably like at least to half my calf. And then, you know, it'd be really rutted out right there, and it was always full of water. It was always a mud pit right there. And so that being built up and having the rocks and stuff in it, you did an awesome job, baby.
It's in there. That holds really, really well. So that makes me happy. That looks so good.
It does. It looks like fresh and brand new. And we had all that traffic driving up and down it for Wyatt's birthday, and nobody got stuck, and it got to pack it down a little bit.
Yep, it was
good stuff.
It was really good. I think I did a good job.
Yeah, you did. Pat yourself on the back.
Well, I mean, that was a lot of back and forth.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't realize how many times back and forth I was gonna go with the box blade on this until like I did it, and I was like, holy crap.
Yeah.
The amount of times I have to come back and forth just to get it to where I want it is ridiculous in some ways, you know.
Yeah.
But it is what it is, and it looks so much better than what it did.
Yeah, and now we can actually, it's more functional again. You don't gotta have to have a 4x4 to get up to our house, because it was getting to that point.
It was getting to that point, that's for sure. It made it a little tricky and interesting, especially, you know, when there's a soft point just before the hill, and then you gotta gun it up the hill.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's makes it a little interesting. But now this should give us that perfect amount of traction we need on the road all the way up. And in the spots where it's wet, that should not be wet no more. And yeah.
Good stuff.
I'm really happy about this roadway. It's looking really, really nice. And now there's all sorts of other stuff I want to do and everything else.
One day at a time, baby.
One day at a time. So that's what we've been up to. That's a lot of show and tell. Yep. We've been busy beavers, or squirrels.
Squirrels.
As you like to say.
Yeah. No, It's been good. Sometimes, you know, we just have to get after it and get it and not worry about the camera. It is what it is, but we are a lifestyle vlog channel. We literally just record our real life. And we don't even know what's going on half of the time, man.
No, not at all, unfortunately. It's fly at the seat of our pants sometimes, you know?
Yep.
But it is what it is. It's the
Life
way
is
of...
a beautiful journey.
The way of life, exactly.
We're checking all those things off the old list. We're making it happen.
Little by little.
Life is good.
Little by little.
Well, friends, this week, Gary and I should have a pretty normal weather week coming up, and weather plays a huge factor into what we can get done and when, and why we do things and everything else, right? So,
it's supposed to be raining right now.
It is.
So.
And all week we've had rain off and on. So it's been one of those things, and we've had lots of other things we needed to do with our animals and stuff. So, but this week coming up, Gary and I should be able to get back to work on the decking and be able to finally get the green zip board up and on the building and be done with the back decking for now. And then we could start working on the mudroom in the front. So that's the hope, and hopefully we'll be able to work on some of that and get some of that footage out for you guys. But again, I want to remind y'all, we are not a home building channel. We appreciate you guys being interested in that. Appreciate you guys being along for the journey, but the journey is our life.
Yep.
So
exactly.
Whatever's going on in our life, we hope that you guys will join us for it. But that's pretty much the updates that we got for you guys for today. I want to thank you guys so much for hanging out with us and watching today's video. Thank you for being along for the journey of our new life with us.
Yes.
For all the things, you know, learning to be self-sufficient and stuff. We truly appreciate you guys. We're going to be working on the cabin coming up this week. We look like we're going to be getting some good weather in. So let's keep our fingers crossed, because honestly, the weather is a big, you know, determining factor on what we do and when. So let's just hope that we get some clear skies and it can be a nice productive week for us. That's what we're hoping for and praying for. So we will let you guys know how that goes. But we're gonna run for today. I want to thank you so much for hanging out with us and watching today's episode. Till the next one, friends, we love y'all and we hope you have a good one.
And we'll catch you on the next one.
Bye, you guys.
Later.